Dosh Hashem. Aaron the Kohen, the prophet of God. איך לא עשה בכל התאמצות כוחו לדחותם ולעכבם בכל מה דאפשר מלעשות העגל. I understand, Aaron, you had to do it for them because you had to buy time. But you couldn't do anything else? I mean, Moshe Rabbeinu only came down a few minutes later or an hour later. So you couldn't buy more time? Why do you have to go through all this? Yes, I'll do it for you, don't worry. Buy more time. I mean, you're a prophet, Aaron. You're the Kohen. You couldn't buy more time? Why did you even do it in the first place? So it says like this. We know that if any person thinks of committing a sin, but he doesn't go through with the sin, God doesn't punish him for the thought. Which means, Haz v'shalom, let's say, I thought that today I'm not going to wear tefillin. And I ended up not wearing tefillin. Hashem doesn't punish me for the thought of not putting tefillin on. He punishes me for not putting tefillin on. The flip side, let's say I said I don't want to put tefillin on. And I put tefillin on, I won't get punished for the thought. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu lo metzaref mahshaba lema'aseh. He does not connect or join together the thought with the sin or the action, except with the sin of avodah zarah, idolatry. If a person thinks he wants to worship a statue, he doesn't end up worshiping a statue, God counts it as if he worshipped the statue. Because avodah zarah is one of the three grave sins, and if you think, just the mere fact of thinking about it, it's as if you committed it. Listen what he says. With that introduction, listen what he says. He says, Techef, when they come to Aharon, ואמרו לו שצמאה נפשם וחמה בשרם לעבוד עבודה זרה. And they had that urge, that desire to worship עבודה זרה. וראה Aharon, and Aharon says, whoa. You're thinking about worshiping עבודה זרה? I know in God's book, He's going to punish you just for the thought. וראה Aharon כי ענוש יענש העם הזה. Hashem is going to punish them. ואסון יהיה לו על מחשבתם הרעה. And they're going to be punished just for the thought. וירא אהרון באם שלא יוציאו זאת תכף מכוח אל הפועל. And he knew Aharon that if I don't actually make them a golden calf and make them worship the golden calf, אזי לא ידע שום אדם מזה שעלה במחשבתם הרעה לעבוד עבודה זרה. Then no one will think that they thought about עבודה זרה because they only saw them worshiping עבודה זרה. And what are the nations going to say? Oh, God killed them for worshiping Avodah Zarah. No, that's not true. God killed them because they thought to worship Avodah Zarah, but the nations don't know their thought process. So Aharon had to take their thought, do it into action, to close the mouths of all the nations that say God kills for people worshiping Avodah Zarah. But that's not true. Hashem killed them for the mahshabah. So Aharon, in order to avoid Hilul Hashem, in order to avoid the desecration of God's name, he said, we must take these thoughts right now and process it and make a golden calf. Listen what he says. As Yamruha Akum, the Goyim, the Gentiles, the worshippers of Avodah Zarah will say, Mibilti yecholet Hashem, velaze amar lechalotam b'midbar. Oh, you know why God killed them in the desert? Because they worship Avodah Zarah. כי אם לא כן הוא על מה ולמה שולח בהם משלחת מלאכי רעים ודבר ומגפה כי מה חטאו מה פשעו. So what's the big deal? They worship the golden calf. That's why God is killing them? ויהיה חילול השם חלילה כי לעקום לא יגלה את מחשבתם הרעה אשר יזמו לעשות. The Gentiles don't know their thought process כי האדם יראה לעיניים ורק השם יראה ללבב. Because a human being sees from the outside, but God knows the inside. Al ken Aharon, that is why Aharon, Yedid Hashem, he loved God so much. Lema'an sidko, Ratza sheyagdil veyadid v'yitkadash shemo shemelech malchei hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu barabim. He wanted to make God's great name again. God's name great again. Al ken, I thought I'm confused. על כן, עשה חוכמה גדולה והוציא הדבר את מחשבתם הרעה Miyad mikoach el hapo'al. He takes their thought. He fashions a golden calf. Umiher hadavar terem yiga' ba miyad Hashem.